Y'all, I'm so excited for today's episode. All I want to do in this video is just to give you just the positive, happy vibes. The sun is shining bright. I even put a nice sunny background on my TV. I want you to walk away from this episode just feeling so good. You've been feeling down about your writing and you just feel really discouraged. You just had the urge to just delete your book or scared to even start writing your book because you feel like everything you do is a failure, or people tell you being a writer is so unrealistic. It's not a real career. I want you to turn this podcast on every morning, every afternoon, every evening, whatever time you sit down and write your book so that you can feel motivated and ready to write your book. I'm really looking forward to doing these videos with y'all. I want this podcast to feel relaxed, laid back. I don't want them to be structured. I really want them to feel like we're just sitting in each other's house or sitting in the coffee shop and we're just chilling, just talking about all the things a writer homebody would be so obsessively talking about, from our writing projects to cozy hobbies to our next favorite book. I was inspired to make this video from my own journey because I don't know if you have not been following my journey on my channel for a while, or you're probably just new to my channel, but recently last year I started writing again my debut novel, my dream novel. I've been struggling to write this novel for the past several years, and towards the end of last year I decided to try again at writing a second draft of my novel. 5 months in, and I decided to delete it and scrap my entire book because I felt like it wasn't good enough. Too many placeholders. The characters sound choppy. They sound terrible. And there was a whole list of errors that I felt was wrong with my book. And I felt so discouraged. Even now, trying again to write a second draft of my book, I felt so discouraged because I was like, no one is ever going to read this book. This is just trash. I feel like my little cousin can do a better job at writing this book than me. That's how terrible written it sounds. And I just thought to myself, I actually thought about deleting the book. I actually thought about walking away from the project and literally just doing a whole new book. Just delete the book, get rid of it for good, and work on something else because I've been with this book for too long. And why should I even continue writing the book if I'm going to produce trash? And I just had to pause. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not the way I was supposed to think. That's not the way we're supposed to think about our books at all. Each book, every time we sit down to write, it doesn't matter if it's a short story, book, or flash fiction, whatever it is, every time we sit down to write, it's making us a better writer. And I was inspired to make this video because I thought to myself, what if there's someone out there that's feeling the same way as I am? That's feeling like deleting their draft. I don't want to say the generic, oh, the first draft is always messy. Everybody knows that the first draft is terrible. Hello, we've seen it and heard it all before, but I just feel like we need to hear something new, something refreshing. And this was advice that I would just honestly give myself. What would I tell myself right now if I was feeling down and discouraged? I feel like we put way too much pressure on ourselves as writers. And that what makes writing feel uncomfortable, unattractive, and just not fun anymore. Because of course, where we want our books to sound good, published, bookshelf ready. We want editors to pick up our books. We want editors to reply to our query letters and say, yes, we want to work with you in your book. Or we want someone to pick up our book at Barnes and Nobles or on Amazon and be like, wow, the first page got me. I want to read this book so bad. We want someone to say that so-and-so's book is my favorite book of all time. I can't put it down. I've read it multiple times. And when we have that thought in the back of our head that this book, I feel like we start adding pressure to ourselves. These words that we write's gotta be perfect. The characters have to be perfect. Plot has to be addictive. The world building has to feel like something that everybody wants to be in. And I just feel like when we put so much pressure on ourselves, we just take away the fun and the joy of writing. And I was just thinking to myself, when I used to do Wattpad, y'all, back in the day, I used to do Wattpad in high school. And I used to have so much fun writing fanfics and just writing whatever I felt like. Y'all, I used to be so excited and in love with Wattpad that I would just even do it in class. I would just be on my laptop writing, or when I couldn't wait to get home to sit down on my laptop and just write. And I would just spend the weekends just writing writing on Wattpad. I had no care in the world, y'all. Wattpad time to me was playtime. It was my Hannah relaxation time. Don't bother me. I'm writing right now. I'm having fun. And a lot of stuff I wrote, y'all, was so cringy. It was so cringy, so bad. And it was just terrible. Wouldn't even share it with nowadays. I would not share with anyone. I don't even want to say my Wattpad name was. But I just didn't care. I was just having fun. And I feel like a lot of us writers, we need to adopt the Wattpad mindset where we remove the pressure from ourselves and just see our writing as fun and playful. We need to give ourselves permission sometimes to write a bit messy. So a couple weeks ago, I came up with this concept called the Wattpad mindset. Back in the day when I was writing Wattpad, y'all, I just was just having fun. I didn't care about trying to publish. I didn't care about other people's opinion. I just focused on the story I wanted to write. I knew what I wanted to write and the stuff that I wanted to read. I used to have this mindset, and I need to get that back. I couldn't find the book that I wanted to read, so I tried to write it myself. And that's how the obsession of writing started with Wattpad. I couldn't find the exact books I want. I didn't just write fan fiction. I write other stuff too back in the day. And I was like, I want to write books I can't find, especially if there's Black female lead. And I want someone to feel like me, like someone that looked like me. I want to write a book that I can't find in my bookstore. And that's the thought I have in my head. And honestly, other people read my books on Wattpad and they gave feedback in the comments. And surprisingly, which was really weird, people actually liked the stuff I wrote. And I was like, you realize a lot of this trash, right? But people actually enjoyed what I wrote. And I was like, okay, maybe there's potential there. I don't know. And what I'm trying to say is that I had no pressure on me. I was just having so much fun, guys. I was writing the story that I wanted to read. And that's what I was started thinking about when I was writing the second draft of my book this morning. I was feeling a little bit discouraged this morning, and which is ironic because I'm filming this video right now. And I was like, Hannah, write the story that makes you happy. If you did not care, just imagine no one else was going to read this book. How would you honestly write it? And if you were a reader, what would you want it to sound like? And I tried to write it just like that. And it almost instantly, the words just came to me because I knew what I wanted to read. We just got to take the pressure off. Forget that we're trying to get our books published. Forget that someone's going to buy this book one day. Forget that we're going to share it with beta readers. And forget the amount of times you were rejected by agents. Just forget it for a minute and just remember why you fell in love with your story in the first place. And I try to think back and really reflect, why do I love the story? What's making me come back even though there are many days I feel very discouraged? We should write what we love without guilt, without care, without shame. You love what you love. And I still keep saying that quote. I know I said this probably 1,000 times, maybe more. The writers gotta be entertained too. If you're not entertained, then who else will? No one else will. And I feel like people, when they read your stuff, they can feel it. They can see, oh, she wasn't really enjoying this part, was she? She was not really, she didn't put a lot of effort and energy into this part of the book. And I know with my sister, she's a singer, and she did talk about in the singing world, you gotta put a lot of emotion, you gotta have a facial expression, and people could just feel the vibe you're giving off when you sing and when you play your musical instrument. And I was like, oh, it's the same thing with writing. I just want you right now today, if this do the only bare minimum things right now, just to make yourself feel excited and alive again to approach your book when you have been stepped away from your book for such a long time. I want you to just do the most bare minimum thing right now. Just open your Google document, open your Scrivener, or even open your Notion if you do that, or your notebook, whatever you write on, just open it and just write one sentence, or maybe just write a paragraph, or maybe just promise yourself, I'm just going to stay here for 5 minutes and we're going to just try to write just a few words and then walk away. Sometimes all you need is just a slow start. Trust me, when you start writing it, and then when you sit there for just the first 5 minutes writing nonstop, then you have the urge to write 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And then the ideas start to flow from that short time you sat down to write. So in the wrong font on purpose. Write it from a different character's perspective, or a character's perspective you never thought you were right in. Write it from your perspective. Do whatever it takes to make the spark come back again. I know they say it's not good to listen to rely on motivation. I get that. You need discipline more than anything. But at the same time, though, I feel like when you're in a moment like this, encouragement and motivation necessary. Turn on that podcast. Like, hello, this one right here. Turn on that podcast. listen to some affirmations, and just make yourself feel good. Surround yourself with positive, happy vibes. I put on some gospel music. I put on some like upbeat, lofty, like some summer vibe music. I love putting on summer music when I am down in the dumps. I'm telling you right now, not just with writing, guys, with just anything in general. Surround yourself with positivity when you're feeling down. I'm being so serious. Do something that makes you feel so good. Like earlier, I went outside, stood in the sun, and just started smiling and listened to the birds singing in my music. And I was just feeling good because I wanted to surround myself in so much joy. And honestly, I needed that. I felt like I needed all that joy. And I wrote down a list of affirmations to tell yourself every day. You can write it down on a sticky note or write it down on a notebook or just put it somewhere that you can look at it every single day. So hold on, let me get out my notebook right now. I will be someone's favorite author. I will create without fear and write with love. I write for joy of it and not for external validation. Revising allows me to write the best book I can. I believe in my story and others will see its merit. I just want to share this affirmation with y'all because something you can look at every single day and just feel so good about yourselves. Maybe struggling to get started on your first book ever. You haven't started your first draft because you don't know what the heck to write or what to do. But if you need some help and a little bit of a push or some ideas on getting started with your first draft and you have no ideas or know where to begin, I made this freebie that I wish I had a while back when I first started my first draft. It's this cozy little freebie kit of starting and writing your first draft. You could grab it in the description below. And it's free, y'all. It's free. Everybody loves free stuff. And you could grab this freebie in the description below that can help you get started with writing your first draft. It has an area where you could journal your thoughts, and it even got writing prompts so you need some story ideas. And I wrote all the prompts, so don't laugh. And I even wrote down some questions you could ask yourself when writing your book. Y'all, today is such a good day. Before I started filming this, I was literally outside hanging out with the pets, and it was warm today for February. I feel like we're going to have an early spring, even though the groundhog said it's going to be more winter, but today felt like spring. I put on this playlist to be on YouTube or Lofty Summer Music. I had that playing, y'all, and I was just chilling. It was just such a good day. The only thing that I was missing was a cup of coffee and a really good book, and it would have been the best moment outside. I'm telling you, after this video, I'm gonna go outside and get some more sun, then make a cup of coffee, come back in and do some writing. I feel so happy and upbeat to want to write. After doing this episode, talk with y'all, I felt myself being so motivated and just ready to just get back into writing. And I really hope this video motivated you all to just wanna just stop, just take off the pressure and just have fun and write. And with that being said, y'all, don't forget to grab the freebie in the description below, and I will see you all in the next video, and happy writing to all of you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.